Hello there friends, CSGO News Live here. In today's video, Astralis getting sold, ropz is driving Apex crazy, and the finals of IEM Melbourne. And as always, a bunch of other exciting news from the world of CS2, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think we shall kick off today's video with a huge one of the most discussed from the past few days, because it looks like Astralis is about to be sold. There were already some rumors floating around before, but back then people said Astralis would just sell a few shares if things got bad, and hold on. Now though, it seems that the Danish bubble has officially popped. Astralis, once valued at $75 million back in 2019, has seen its price crash by about 98% after years of failures and missing 5 majors in a row. Their estimated value now is only $2 or $3 million. Adding fuel to the fire, some presentation slides were leaked. In them you can see that Astralis is trying to sell off their CSGO roster, not even CS2. The slides also had some outdated info, like mentioning their former sports director and a bunch of other inconsistencies. Aurora's CEO Astralis reminded everyone that Astralis is still paying their salaries the size of Nemiga's entire annual budget, despite not making it to the major for 5 years in a row. As for the potential buyer, it looks like it's going to be the Continuum X Group, run by Jonas Gundersen, the former head of North and the former COO of Ninjas in Pyjamas. Yeah, you heard it right, the same Jonas Gundersen that drove Ninjas in Pyjamas to hell. And here's the ironic part, back in the day North stole Kyousuke from Astralis after his major win. And now, years later, after Astralis missed another major, it looks like North's former leadership might end up taking over the whole organization again. Guys, what do you think about Astralis' situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Meanwhile, the community is already trying to buy out Astralis. It's funny. Would you take part? But enough with Astralis. Now let's ask some serious questions. When will young talents break into Tier 1? And why haven't players like Kyousuke or makazee from NAVI Junior still made it to Tier 1? It's basically the question Thorin and Maui Snake recently brought up. In their opinion, teams like NAVI or Team Spirit could give one of these academy talents a shot, maybe at a smaller event like PGL Astana. Giving a young player a chance could not only boost the team's results, but also give someone like makazee valuable Tier 1 experience before making a full jump from academy to the big leagues. Plus, more Tier 1 teams would notice them, helping their careers even more. Subsequently, they could be sold for more cash. This is especially important for makazee, since he's not as hyped up yet as Kyousuke, who is reportedly and rumoredly is on the Falcons' radar. That's a good take from Thorin and Maui Snake. Really, why not use academy players on smaller events? Seems just logical. And before we jump into the grand finals, we have to talk about tension inside Vitality, all because of memes. So according to Apex, although ropz is truly a genius and a great player, he has been non-stop spamming the Italian Brainrot memes. You know, since Apex is a busy guy and he's a lot older, he doesn't really keep up with the meme culture. So it's been pretty hard for him to understand what ropz is even talking about. Be honest, my friends, who's your favorite Italian animal? Bombardillo, crocodilo, or literally Larla? What the hell? Before we move on to the next news, let me tell you about CSGO Fast, as they're turning 10 years. CSGO Fast is the oldest and most trusted website in the history of CS skin games. Feel like Gaben is unfair to you? On CSGO Fast you can open tons of profitable cases and pull that dream skin you've always wanted. They've got a huge variety of games, including intense case battles. You can even invite a friend and win together. Surely you all love raffles. CSGO Fast runs free raffles every 6 hours, giving away skins to random participants. Plus, they regularly host special events. Right now is their 10-year anniversary, just look at the prizes up for grabs. And if you're a true CS veteran, you already know the community has trusted CSGO Fast for years. That's why they have a loyalty system for regular users and a ranking system with extra bonuses. Do I even need to mention skin prices? You already know they're awesome. And if you don't want to deposit, no problem, you can always use the referral system to earn points. Use promo code CSGO News Live to get plus 10% to your deposit and a free case. The link will be in the pinned comment. Now my friends, finally IEM Melbourne Grand Finals. This was one of the most intense finals of the season, Vitality versus Falcons. And the Bees came into the match under massive pressure. They were on the verge of completing the ESL Grand Slam, riding a 20-match win streak, winning 3 tournaments in a row. On top of that, the whole arena was against them. The Australian crowd really doesn't like Apex, so Vitality had to battle both Falcons and the entire stadium. Meanwhile, Falcons had way less pressure. They had a fresh energy boost thanks to makazee joining the team, even though he had only 1 day of practice together. Still, Falcons impressed everyone throughout the tournament, and makazee fit right in like he'd been there for months. But a grand final is always about nerves. No team gets here by accident. Vitality's honeymoon phase with ropz with the new team is getting colder, while Falcons are only just at the beginning of this same phase. And also, Nico's gang had to stop Vitality from being named the best team of the year, but, well, let's not haste. First, the map veto. Inferno and Train from Vitality, Dust 2 and Mirage from Falcons. And if needed, the decider would be Nuke. And let's start with Inferno. Vitality kicked things off with a clean pistol round and a triple from Apex, giving them the early 3-0 lead. But then, Magis woke up and punished Vitality for pushing into the side a little too late. Still, it didn't stop the French. Pretty soon, Zaivu clutched a beautiful one, and Vitality pulled even further ahead.
Utah from Nico, a smoke onto the open possession, he still gets output, still pulls the trigger pre-bloom. Tessus on that 10-second defuse. Zaiwu trapped in the smoke. Nico's smoke has freaked him out, but he's gone and done it. No, Zaiwu finishes off the job. Says thank you very much, Nico, I'll use that to win the round.
At one point, it got so bad for Falcons that the score was 10-1, and makazee had only 1 frag to his name. The side switch didn't change much either, and in the end, Vitality just crushed the first map 13-2. It was clear that Falcons were really struggling without makazee showing up on this map. Next up was Dust 2, and once again things started off rough for Falcons. Early on, it felt just like Inferno, and Flames looked like he had wall hacks during the pistol round. Those juicy headshots. Luckily, Falcons managed to win their first full buy, and that kicked off a streak of 5 in a row. The first half ended with Falcons up 7-5. But after the side switch, Vitality grabbed the pistol round, which let them tie it up and even pull ahead a bit.
Set up by the flash, Kingston sets up his boys.
Messi!
Messi! They're into the site. Flustered, Magic's gonna be kicking himself, and oh, Apex.
Still, Falcons answered back with a quick 3-round streak of their own. Then came the classic back and forth, both teams trading rounds one after another. Somebody had to step up, and that somebody was makazee, who took control and pushed Falcons to map point.
Well, that's the kill, makazee's patience. He prevails, removes Zaiwu. After getting that bomb down, Magis with the dunk! See you later!
But come on, what a grand final without overtimes. Vitality forced it. But unfortunately for them, it wasn't enough. Falcons closed out their pick. The real hero here was not makazee, not Nico, but Kyousuke, who stepped up when it mattered most. Third map was Train, Vitality's pick. This time things finally started going Falcons' way. Vitality only got their first round when it was 4-0, and even then they couldn't really string together anything. Only closer to the end of the half, Vitality had some momentum, which brought the halftime score to 7-5, but still in favor of Falcons. After the side switch, though, things started slipping away. Vitality began their comeback, and it was really hard to stop them. Even though makazee and Tassis tried to keep Falcons alive, they eventually lost a silly echo round, and from there, the game just collapsed. Vitality went on a 5-round streak. They closed out Train and took the 2-1 lead in the series. Next was Mirage, Falcons' pick. Here, Nico and the gang came out flying. They won 5 first rounds. But Vitality fought back, especially thanks to makazee, who clutched a crucial 1v2 to get them back on track. After that, the Bees picked up the pace, and the first half was a tie. The pistol round after the switch also went to Vitality, and once again, it was makazee the King who led the way. They pushed ahead to 9-6. And at this moment, makazee came alive. Almost single-handedly, he won 2 rounds in a row. He carried Falcons to victory on their map pick. makazee was shining bright. And just like any great final, it all came down to the decider, Nuke. Both teams were ready for this map. It was just a matter of who wanted it more. From the very first round, you could tell it was gonna be a brawl. ZywOo almost clutched a 1v3 on pistols. But as the map went on, it looked like Vitality were running out of gas. They started dropping round after round, and at one point, it felt like they were about to collapse. By halftime, Falcons led 9-3. I personally thought it was over. After the side switch, Vitality tried to claw their way back, but every round felt like life or death. ZywOo was doing everything he could to delay the inevitable, but eventually Kyousuke clutched a huge 1v1 to put Falcons on match point, 12-6.
5, 4, he hears him coming, hoping ropz overextends. Oh! Kyousuke comes up clutch, and he just stands up. That moment right there from Kyousuke.
It was all or nothing. Vitality went all in. They won the force buy and somehow started stringing rounds together, winning round after round, even clutching crazy 3v5s. They took 6 straight rounds and pushed the game into overtimes. It was crazy insane. And my bros, what an overtime it was. Every round was pure fire. Neither team wanted to back down. As you could guess, we went to the second OTs. And there, Vitality pulled ahead, winning the first 3 rounds, getting within touching distance of victory. But TaSys wasn't ready to give up, bringing Falcons back into the fight. And then makazee clutched a crucial round at 17-18 to keep them alive. Third OTs, oh my god, the brawl continued. Falcons took one, Vitality answered. But then, in the end, Vitality put themselves together one last time, and Apex clutched a 1v2. The captain delivered, and Falcons fell just short of pulling off the upset, and in the end, Vitality took the win.
There's only one man that can stop them. It's not gonna happen, surely. makazee cannot come up 1v4. Bomb down from the hut. Vitality made to work for it. Tenacious. But it is theirs now. Put through their paces.
Oh my god, bros, you just had to be there. I just hope I transferred the energy correctly. Vitality took the win. They extended their win streak to 21 matches, and Apex celebrated the 29th tournament victory of his career, while ropz became just the second player ever to earn 2 Grand Slam titles after Twists. In a post-match interview, ropz said he was still in shock over how crazy some of the rounds were, and he hopes everyone enjoyed the grand final as much as he did. ZywOo, meanwhile, picked up another MVP, and once again said he's not competing with Simple for the most MVPs. His only goal is to beat his own records. Interestingly enough, Spinks from Mouse also received a share of the Grand Slam prize money because of his contribution to Vitality's earlier tournament wins. Vitality even got a shout out from the president of France, who congratulated them and said that they once again shown the full strength of French esports, while also reminding everyone that he helped make Blast Paris happen. Politicians. But every story has 2 sides. And, you know, on the other side we had Falcons, who, to be fair, managed to take more maps of Vitality than any other team at the tournament. So, one hell of a job, I guess. After the match, Zonic congratulated Vitality, but also said that if Falcons had just a few more strats prepared, they could have won. By the end of Nuke, they simply ran out of ideas. makazee said that he will never forget that 12-6 lead on Nuke that he lost, and Kyousuke thanked his teammates for everything they had achieved in just a few days. Still, there was a silver lining. Falcons climbed to number 3 in the Valve rankings, overtaking Spirit. And that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow this channel, hit the like button and drop by in the comments below. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.